What's up, everybody? We're back again on the 75 hard update. I guess this is number 4, right? So
Is it?
Yeah, we missed last week because it was July 4th,
Right.
so we skipped it. But here we are
Howdy.
again. So I'm here with Maddie and Marquesa. Look, I got name tags now. See?
Oh, wow. I didn't even notice. That's awesome. That looks nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm trying
Yeah.
to see
What's
if
been
we're
going on,
live.
everybody?
I thought I missed a day.
This was big news.
Today I had a realization, so I don't know if you know, but I thought I missed a day of taking a picture. So I thought I started over last week. I was like, man, did I take a picture yesterday? And I pulled my phone out and I'm like, nope, I sure didn't. But what I figured out was I had filmed myself that day, and so doing something else. And
For your business?
yeah, for my business on a
Okay.
different phone. And so
That
I'm
was
just
still
gonna
progress.
I'm just gonna pull that thing
Yeah.
out.
Just take
It's
an
good
image
enough.
of it.
Like
Yeah.
there's
So
like there's like
That
a side
counts,
pitch
yeah.
and a
I
front
think it
pitch.
definitely counts. I
I know
was
when she
surprised.
told me that over the picture, I was like, I would have
Yeah.
just let that one slide.
But isn't that kind of the point,
A little
too? Like,
different.
the
But
other ones are
yes.
really difficult, but that one
Yeah.
is really easy to forget. And
Yeah.
because it's so quick and easy that
Yeah,
I
it's-
think that's probably part of it, right?
Well, and that day was just too much.
It was a rough day. But I was really surprised, honestly, when he told me that. I was like, oh, well, what are you going to do? And I thought he was just going to be like, well, just whatever. It's fine. It's fine. I'm doing everything else. And because I was like, oh, I'm surprised because you tend to bend the world to what you decide. Because that's kind of how he is. But no, he was like, no, I'm just going to start over. I'm like, oh, all right.
Yeah. So
Was
it's
that discouraging though?
a little bit, yeah, because it's
Yeah.
like
You're on what, day 30 with me, right? We're day 30 today.
yeah. So
Nice.
I'm
So you're back
in,
to 30.
back into 30. I thought I was
Back
on
in the
like 4 or
game.
5 or something, but
Yeah. That, I
back
know that
again.
was sad to hear.
It was really.
And the reasoning, or the item that you missed, that was.
Yeah.
Are you tracking your stuff with the 75 Hard app too?
no. I
Okay.
just go through the checklist every day. So
Okay.
what does the app track?
It's really basic.
Those-
it's very
those
basic.
things.
That's it. It's
So
a
it's just a
checklist.
checklist
It
and
is.
that's it?
And then I mean, you upload your picture to it and stuff, but yeah, it's just the checklist. And supposedly there's something that pops up. This guy Ryan at my work, he said that he was going to start doing it. He was saying something about how it pops up a thing if you miss a day. It the guy Andy Frizella or whatever comes up and says something, but I've never.
So
haven't
did he
missed
miss a day?
I don't want to know what.
he said
what
he's done it before.
Yeah, and did he say he missed
And he
a day?
did, yeah. And he just started over. I don't know a whole lot about it, but it's basically, yeah, it's super basic. And you can make notes on the bottom.
Are
which
you
sometimes
are
is
you
good.
using the app?
I'm using a different app. It's just called Habit Share. So
Oh, okay.
you create your own habits, and I can check them off. And so very, very basic, but it's free. So that's what I'm using.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm just using my notes. I just
Yeah.
you can make a checklist, and so every day I go uncheck all the stuff, and
Yeah.
then I recheck it. So,
That works.
but I mean, I don't know. That day, the day I missed the picture, I was just I worked all day, and it was just too much going on.
It
I
was,
think.
you
Yeah.
worked 18 hours or something that day.
Yeah, I was able to get everything else done, but
Yeah.
it just I didn't. Take a picture.
I struggled on a day that I almost didn't hit my water, and I had to chug the water, and I
Like at
felt
night.
horrible afterwards because it was 3 cups that I had to get down, and I was trying to go to bed. Also, it was a horrible night because I woke up, had to go pee a couple times.
Oh, no.
But yeah, but
Yeah, some of those days are
It is
hard. I
hard.
had a hard time today waking up.
yeah,
Because I couldn't sleep very well last night. And by the time I got to sleep, because I was just kind of anxious, and so I watched a show, which I probably shouldn't have done. I should have just gone to sleep anyway. But then I woke up because the show was on still in my head, in my headphones. So I'm like, groggily, and then Clyde gets up and gets ready for work. And I'm just I just barely slept. And then I had to get up at 7 because we had this big event today for homeschool. And I had to get up and exercise before. I'm like, well, I got to do it. So
Yeah.
I'm going to be hitting a wall in a little bit soon, I think. But
Yeah.
that was hard. That was a hard thing to do. I
Yeah.
was not filling up to that. But, you know, you just,
Just push through.
yeah, I think you just kind of think, well, I just have to do it.
Yeah.
So what else can you do, you know? And the kids are getting really good about it too. Like I wake up in the morning and usually walk around the circles and they just know that that's what I'm doing. So sometimes they'll come out with me or sometimes they'll just play while I'm doing that. And then they don't have to do their chores. They're like, yeah, we get to play before we do our chores. So they don't bug me too much, but yeah, how was your 4th?
Yeah.
It
How
was good.
It sounds like you
It
had
was
some
good. We,
temptations, but
yeah, I mean, it was just hard with food and treats and all that, and just we had a family reunion, and there was just a table of snacks, and I wanted to eat it all, and so it was a little hard. I had a couple moments. I think those were the hard things I was anticipating too. I knew before I started this, those were the things I was like, I think I'm gonna have a hard time for these events kind of thing. And it was, but it wasn't as hard as I thought it was
oh really?
initially. Like like the actual
Feels
day
impossible.
of, it wasn't as hard as I thought before I
So
started.
what's happening in your mind when you see all that stuff? Like when you get this like urge to eat it, are you talking to yourself in your head? Trying to
Kinda,
convince
yeah.
yourself?
I mean, initially I'm like, I want to just say screw it. Like part of me just wants to say screw it, and then yeah, I have to logically think it over, and then I'm like, no, I would feel like crap after, and it's not worth it, and I'm doing so good. I have to encourage myself, and
That's so funny.
but
I
it is
noticed
getting
that.
easier.
I noticed that I am talking to myself in my brain, like
Yeah.
trying to convince myself that it's okay to, oh, it's fine.
Yeah.
You'll be okay. Just maybe just don't eat as much tomorrow, which is like terrible too. That's how you get into the
Yeah.
cycle of binging, right?
Yeah.
You're just like, oh, I'll just be
Yeah.
better tomorrow.
Yeah.
And then you give into that urge and like immediately feel relief, which is also like such a big red flag to me because I'm like, it's almost like medication or something,
Yeah.
right? Like you immediately get that relief of like, oh, I feel so much better now that I ate that when you really wanted to. And then you get the guilt and all that.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, it's such an awful cycle. But yeah, I mean, I have had a few days like that too, where I'm
Yeah.
just like trying to convince myself. But I think having like treats like that are healthy and like high protein, like this yogurt with peanut butter and maple syrup that I eat like every single day almost, because it really is so satisfying
Yeah.
in the way that like candy or, cheesecake or something like that would be. So I eat that a lot just because it does sort of help me.
Hit the spot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's really good in high protein, but
Yeah.
anyway, I don't know why I was talking about that, but because you were
Yeah.
talking about how your 4th of July was. How about you? How have you
Well,
been doing?
Yeah, I mean, I'm really tired. I don't know.
You're tired?
Yeah. But it's like you just keep going every day and pushing. I mean, I can feel endurance going up. Like the more
too.
and more that I push, and because like even though I'm working out at work, I'm pushing harder every day. So I'm like running. I'm trying to
Right.
pull, push faster, go, move faster. Like
Yeah, the last few times I've been walking in the circles, I'm like, I probably should pick it up a little bit. Get up,
Yeah.
get more, like get faster or start running a little bit.
Yeah.
Because I'm noticing that too. I'm like, this isn't really doing anything for me anymore.
Yeah, like the weekend bike rides, we've been doing bike rides, and they're not like I'm finding myself shifting to the highest gear on my bike that
Yeah,
I
me too.
can, and it's still not enough.
Yeah.
It's like
Yeah.
I can get a burn a little bit, but not like so I must be building muscle, I guess.
Yeah.
I think so.
I'm not sure what to do about that.
Yeah.
Guess
I mean,
I'll shift
it's hard,
Milo's
yeah,
bike
because
down.
of the kids too. Because
Yeah.
like we were thinking about getting another tandem bike, and I actually saw one when we went. I went down to Fruit Heights where the kids were at Grandma's house, and anyway, there was some people on a tandem bike, and they had a trailer like we have
Yeah.
for Milo, and then the mom I think was just riding by herself. But like that would be really nice to have
Yeah.
for Declan, because he's most of the time he's complaining a little bit, but it did take a while on our last ride for him to start complaining.
Yeah,
He just
he's
wants to do
getting
what he
better.
wants to do.
Yeah.
And he doesn't want to follow everybody. That's just how he is.
Yeah. Makes sense.
But on the hikes, though, it's different. It's totally different. He's like
That's
wants to
because
go
it's
ahead.
a world to explore, and
Yeah.
True.
it's his element.
I bet he'll be like a long distance runner or something because he's always been into running. He just runs and runs and runs everywhere. So that's probably why. He wants to go exploring.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, plus his friends aren't there, and it's always hot.
true.
And there's hills.
Just his
and-
annoying parents
Yeah.
making him do stuff he doesn't want to
He
do.
doesn't want to go up the hills.
Yeah,
He wants an e-bike, you know.
that
and
might
we're
be a
just
good
like,
idea instead.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's interesting. I might have to start doing more workouts on the weekends when we're doing those bike rides because they're just like not enough. But I don't know. I guess the challenge doesn't say like how hard you're working out.
It doesn't.
No,
So
it's
it's
not.
up to you, and you making that conscious
Discretion.
choice, saying I need more. You know.
Yeah. Yeah. And then that's what we talked about, I guess, is that it's for you.
Yeah.
It's a challenge to beat yourself
Yeah.
at whatever game you're playing,
Yeah.
right? So
You should
it's
be
pointless to-
progressing for your own.
right.
self.
It's kind of pointless to be doing it
Yeah.
for other people, you know.
Yeah.
And it's pointless not to challenge yourself, you know, every day a little bit more.
Yeah, I think that's where I've been struggling this week too. I was telling you a little bit earlier. I just feel like I've been not challenging myself lately because I'm so exhausted and have so low energy right now.
Just
And
riding the crimson wave,
I,
as they say.
yeah.
It does like make it difficult.
So that's been a challenge in itself, an experience, and yeah. And I today's day 30. I was going to weigh myself and measure myself, and I just felt crappy the last couple days. So I decided I'm going to wait to do that.
You're like, I can't break it to myself
I just,
today.
Yeah, I just can't. I'm too all over the place in my mind, and
That's good to recognize that stuff, though. I think that, you know, I don't even think a lot of people do that. I don't think a lot of people can
Yeah.
like, recognize those things about themselves and know to sort of give
Well, it was
themselves a
kind
little
of
grace.
it was hard too because I was so excited to hit the 30 days so that I could do that because I've been anxious to know. But yes, it was a tough choice.
Yeah, I thought
But-
day 30, like I remember at the beginning thinking day 30 for some reason. I was like, day 30, I'm like, I really want to know what that's going to be like and
Yeah.
whatnot. And it was really kind of uneventful. I was like, yeah, just another day.
Yeah.
But I
Yeah.
posted about it, but I was still just like, yeah, I mean, I did it. I'm on, you
Yeah.
know, the next one is 75 for me, I guess.
Yeah.
Because it's almost halfway through.
Yeah.
So I guess that'll be the next big one. But
Well,
Yeah.
I mean, what is half? Like 37 and a half?
Something.
So,
Yeah.
yeah.
yeah, I guess we're almost halfway
Yeah,
there.
that's crazy. It's so crazy.
Yeah, that is crazy.
Yeah,
to think
the next
about.
challenge will be like doing it in the winter during school, and
That will be,
or
especially the outdoor
holidays
one.
or- yeah,
Which
Yeah.
no, I mean the outdoor one's fine. I think.
yeah. I mean, it's just
mean,
a matter of
I think that I would think it would be better to work out outdoors in the winter.
Yeah.
Because it's not hot.
Yeah.
I mean, but that's just me. I like it cold, so I don't know.
Yeah. That
But-
makes sense.
the air
Yeah,
can
it'll
be
be
brutal though in the
interesting.
winter sometimes.
So, are
know?
you planning on waiting till after the vacation to do it again, or what are your thoughts?
I
at this
really
point?
don't. I don't have any idea.
So-
what
Because
I'm gonna do.
mid-August is when we hit our 75 days.
right,
So,
and then school starts, and yeah, I mean,
and then we have a month and a week before vacation.
yeah, I think
I don't know.
I was thinking in my head if I was to do it again this year or next year, I guess it would be in January. Just because I feel like that would be a little less stressful
Yeah.
than like doing it during the holidays
Yeah.
and like because when you're in September you're starting to like build up to all the big stuff.
Yeah.
So are you gonna keep going with some of the stuff, or are you just gonna
Mm-hmm.
are you gonna keep working out every day?
Yeah.
My plan is to even right after the 75 heart or right after our 75 days, I don't know if I'm going to do it again. Honestly, I plan to continue to do some of the things and just make it a lifestyle change
But just not
and
the
make sure
full
I'm Yeah, the like I said, the reading, the physical reading. I don't know though, because I am kind of liking it
It's kind of
now.
nice. It's kind of
I'm
nice
starting
to take that time.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
starting to enjoy it. But the water thing, I think, is still an
Yeah.
issue. And I've also been doing some research on it, and we're probably drinking more water than we should. And
Yeah.
I don't think I am. I
think I
seriously,
am.
well, and
most days I feel
everybody's
like it's not
different,
enough.
and it depends on
Yeah.
how hardcore your exercise
true.
are and all that. But yeah, I've just been doing some research on that aspect because I felt I was curious why I'm so thirsty all the time, even though
you're
I'm
drinking too
drinking a
much?
gallon of water. Well, yeah, it can make you thirsty, and it can deplete your electrolytes, and
interesting.
it has all these possible negatives if you're drinking too much water than you need.
What
But
if
then
you
some
do-
days I'm fine.
What if you do electrolytes, like as part
that
of the
might
water?
that might make a difference.
Yeah, it
and
probably would.
I've tried to start increasing that.
Oh, okay.
So
Or adding salt.
I don't know.
or-
Just the research I've been doing, like it's not necessary to have a gallon of water a day.
Oh, okay.
And
Yeah,
that just
d-
depends on
yeah.
a
It's
lot
like-
of factors.
It's like what we talked about. It really does depend. So it's like if you're in like the desert, you're probably going to need more than a gallon
Yeah.
because you're going to be sweating it out and
Yeah.
everything.
But especially like wintertime, we're not.
Yeah.
It's probably going to
It's-
be way too much
right.
for us to have a gallon of water
Yeah.
a
It's
day.
hard to think in the winter. Yeah.
And I don't know.
I mean, I've heard of that. I know we talked about this before, but I've heard of that as just being like a general, like, it's just like a general rule, you know? Like if you go camping, well, in the Boy Scouts, they would always say that. It's just a general rule,
Yeah.
you know, to be 1 gallon per person per day. And
Yeah.
so I don't know if that's where they got it from or what, but it is like, you know, especially since we live in climate controlled.
Mm-hmm.
It's like even in the summer, it could be 110 out. You're in 70 all day, you know, because so I don't know, it's
Yeah.
crazy.
I don't know. I'm still looking into it and whatnot. And I mean, the ratio is a half to 1 ounce per body weight. But that's a big half. Like that's 60 ounces to a gallon or whatever, you know, like
Yeah.
it's a big ratio, and it has all these factors from what I'm reading that come into place as to what would make you need a full gallon, but half a gallon is probably just fine depending.
that makes
So,
sense.
Is there?
I don't know.
I think we talked about this maybe, but is there like another 75 harder?
Yeah.
Are either of you
It
gonna
adds
do
a
that?
cold shower
Oh, it
and
adds a cold
something
shower.
else.
I know.
don't know.
I forgot to look it up again. Yeah, and I wonder if they up the amounts of time that you work out, or I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll have to look into it, but yeah, I'm at this point debating. Like, I plan to stick with the exercises, the reading, I don't know about the progress picture specifically, but
Yeah. I
and
mean,
then
maybe
the
like once a
water
week or
maybe
something.
not be like so like I have to get this in if I'm feeling okay. You know what I mean? I don't know, but
It's difficult because I think the thing about this is that it's become my priority,
Yeah.
right? So it trumps everything else for the day, pretty much. Like, and I make room for it at this point.
Yeah.
But when you stop, then it's easy to probably slide back into like, you know, well, I have other stuff. I feel better if, you know, my house is cleaner.
Yeah.
So if I could clean my house, I'd feel a lot better, but then I'm maybe not going to be able to get a good workout in that day, you know, and then it turns into like, I don't feel like working out that day.
Yeah.
And then it just like, I don't know. So I don't want to slide back. I do want to keep it a priority.
do you think that you would be able to be consistent and tweak it and still have it be like as prioritized, but in your own like these are the habits that I've created?
Yeah. And I think that's what I
And
did the
still
first
track
time
it.
when I first lost weight. I think that's why, because I was just prioritizing it. I was taking progress pictures. I was even filming myself working out sometimes just to see like my, how I was, if I was doing it right, you know, like how she was doing it, and just to kind of watch myself change and stuff over time.
Yeah.
And that was really helpful. And I was checking my weight every week and watching it go down. And like I was prioritizing everything and still, you know, the rest of my life. But then, you know, I just kind of, I guess I just got sick of prioritizing it.
So
I did my year and then I was like, all right, I'm just going to try and maintain it. And then,
Yeah.
you know, I did for a long time. And then I kind of just.
So you need that discipline, that
I think-
structure.
yeah. Yeah.
Do you think you could find it with something that's not this challenge specifically, like your own created, or do you feel like
Maybe.
you need this
No, I think-
system that's
No, I think I could come up with something that would be a better way for me to prioritize. I think I just need to organize myself a lot more.
Yeah.
Because even now, in the beginning, I was like, I'm just going to have to figure out how to organize everything. But even now, I'm still like winging it a lot of the time.
yeah
A lot of the time, I'm still not organized. And that's just because I'm just not an organized
Yeah.
person as far as my
Yeah,
life
that's
goes,
just
I
how you
guess.
do it anyways.
Yeah.
That's how you've always done everything.
I prepare, like I did prepare to start school up again with the boys, but I'm not doing like a full day. So if I was to do it while we were doing school, it would be, I'd have to organize everything. I have to make sure
Yeah.
I am like really doing everything
Planned.
right. But, you know, I don't know. Yeah, I guess I would have to
That's
challenge
something
myself.
you're-
I'd have to motivate myself.
yeah
That's it, I guess,
Yeah.
you know. And I think what I'm looking for is sort of this self-improvement mindset for everything. Like, you know, I already have been in this mode for a long time, but like the David Goggins books that I'm reading, he talks about that, how there's like always this sort of level that you hit, and then what's after that? What comes after that?
Yeah.
Like, how are you going to push yourself past that?
Yeah.
And then past that and past that. So he did these like 100-mile runs, right?
Yeah.
And then there's one that they do in Moab, Utah every year, that's like 255 miles. And so then he's in this book that I'm reading now, he's talking about how he did that, and he didn't place, he didn't even technically finish the finish line, but because he got so injured and so he was pushing himself so hard that he was in the hospital. And then once he got kind of stable, he got up and was like, okay, can I still finish the race? And he did on his own. And for him, that was, you know, he overcame something,
Yeah.
even though he technically didn't like go to the finish line. He was
Yeah.
like this, I did the miles. I did the 255 miles in the allotted time or whatever. I don't know. I was going to bring up some of the cool things that he talks about in his book too. Like I outlined a couple things that I thought were interesting. And I'm trying to think. So he's like talking about social media and how you see people on social media. And he says, when you become disciplined, you don't have time, to basically worry about what other people are doing. Your insecurities become alarm bells reminding you that you're doing your chores or homework to the utmost of your ability and putting extra time in the job or the gym or requirements for a well-lived life lived. A drive for self-optimization and daily repetition will build your capacity for work and give you confidence that you will take on more. With discipline as your engine, your workload and output will double. And this is what Clyde was saying too, like you're feeling what was it that you said, the endurance building as we're doing this. You just slowly are noticing these things, right?
Yeah.
What you won't see, at least not at first, is the fact that your own personal evolution has begun to bear fruit. You won't see it because you'll be too busy taking action. And that's where I feel like I'm at this point. Like I'm just, like I gotta do it. I'm just becoming habit. Just get up and do it every day. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's really what I want to be in that place forever. Like you said, a lifestyle change.
Yeah.
I want to do that. I want to be there to where I
Yeah.
don't have to think about it.
Yeah. Well,
But I don't know if that's possible or
yeah,
not.
I mean, do you think that we'll ever get to that point to where if you don't push every day, you're just going to fall back on the old habits?
Right.
You know, because it's like me and you will do these programs, you know, like to where like we'll save a specific amount of money for a while, and then it's like we just fall off.
Yeah.
We do it, and then all of a sudden it's like I'm just tired of repeating this thing, so I'm just not going to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not for any other reason than just straight up like, I guess
I
it's
just don't want to.
yeah,
don't
I don't want it today.
But those are the moments that like, yeah, this is really challenging, those moments of like, I just don't want to. I
Yeah.
just really don't want
Well, and who
Yeah.
knows where we're going to be at day 75, you know, like who knows where our mindset's going to be. I think that as long as we're always in search of personal growth and in constant search of personal growth and evolve to that things will change. Like they're always going to change. Not like this is not necessarily sustainable forever.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Like it has to evolve, but as long as it's evolving in progress, then that's all that matters.
And when you start to get back into that comfortable place, like too, that also, yeah, you have to really, if you really want to progress, you have to recognize those moments and think, oh yeah, like, you know,
Yeah.
here I am again.
Like
Yeah.
it's
I
time
just wanna
to,
be-
I have to push.
Yeah.
So
Yes.
I'm falling off. I need to get back into it.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it will be interesting when you go like full on into school, how that's going to relate, you know. And like you do, what you could do, I tell you this sometimes too, is what you could do is if you have those extra things that you can't get done, you could push some of that off onto me. I might be able to do it or I might not, depending on what's going
Yeah.
on. I mean, I work a lot, but
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I feel like at this point it's just a matter of utilizing my time well.
figuring it
Yeah.
out.
And you've said this like so many times through our relationship too, you know, and even just when we started homeschooling, it was like, I don't know if I can make this happen. Like, how am I going to do this and work, you know, a job, which is not necessarily part-time, but
Yeah.
I mean, it is, but it's 32 hours. That's a lot of time
Yeah.
a week still. People are surprised when I say that. They're like, oh, that's a lot more than part-time. But no, I mean, if I utilize my time well, if I stay off social media, if I stop scrolling, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
If I utilize those moments, like I can be on social media like YouTube, but I have to be doing something. And I think that's become a really good habit. But, you know, there are days where I'm just like, I just don't want to.
Yeah.
So I think where was I going with that? I think,
Just like scheduling out your time.
yeah, just utilizing and organizing better. You
And
know, I don't
depending
think,
on, I mean, I don't know how you do your school, but there could be things that while they're doing individual learning, that's when you can take advantage of those moments or whatever, you know?
yeah.
Or
I feel like that's why I'm still sort of winging it, because I'm still just trying to figure out like a good way to do this. And if I was to do it again, then yeah, I would have to rearrange everything, because right now I'm like, oh yeah, I can get up early. It's cooler in the morning. Like I might be tired by the end of the day, but at least like I can do it before the boys get up. They don't, you know, we don't have to start school right away.
Yeah.
Then I have time to exercise again before work. Like, but once school starts, it's going to be
Yeah.
a full day. So it's going to be a lot different.
I mean,
So
and,
yeah, I mean, I don't know.
you know, if you could work out at work, like that might help because it would sort of be a double time thing. But
Yeah.
I don't know, it might be hard. Or like, you know, like Marquesa said, if you could work out while you're teaching, they're doing like some self-guided thing or their own thing, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
But
How long are your days when you're full time?
Like with school, I try to do 10 to 3 on the days that I work. And then the days that I don't, I try to go to 4. And then, you know, but then those days it's like we try to get Declan to cook dinner, or then I have to cook dinner, you know, we have chores we got to do. Like I really try to fill up our days, especially on my days off, so that we can get everything done. So yeah, it would just be a matter of rearranging everything, I guess, you know, yeah,
Yeah.
utilizing the
Yeah.
time. Like right now it's nice too, because I can do yard work, and it's really hot and it's yard work and it's work. So I consider that a
Yeah,
workout,
yeah.
you know, but, yeah, in the winter it'd be different. So I don't know.
you can go,
That would be
you
a
could
whole
go
new challenge.
shovel. If it snows, you could shovel. That's a good workout.
Yeah.
That's true. That's true.
Or,
But if it snows, I mean, you know, yeah, you never know, I
if
guess.
it doesn't snow, you just go run around the circle or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
We could still bike in the winter. I mean, you know, that's a
Yeah.
good one.
But yeah, and my thought process was, even if I don't do the challenge, I'm still gonna I still really want to go outside and walk every day, even if it's snowing or if it's cold or
Yeah.
whatever. I really do like walking as a way of working out. I think it's just nice because I can zone out. I can listen to my podcast or whatever, and it's a really easy, fast way to do it, to
Yeah.
get to knock it out, you know.
Yeah.
Hold on a
Yeah.
second.
Are you still on your same book?
Yeah. Yep. I don't know if like I got it through Libby and it expired, but luckily it let me check it back out again.
Oh, good.
It said it wasn't going to, so I put another hold on it, and then but I don't know if somebody must have passed the hold, their hold, because then as soon as it did expire, it said I could check it out again.
Oh,
So,
cool.
Are you on your same book?
No, I finished my book and then I read another one, which was a quick read. So I'm actually on my third book.
So what was the second book?
So the second book was called How Full Is Your Bucket?
Oh, I think I've heard about that.
Yeah,
before.
it was a very quick read, but it was just, to make sure that you were keeping your bucket full and not trying to dip from other people's buckets and trying to fill other people's buckets and, that whole thing. But yeah, it was a good book, very quick book. And now on my third book is The Compound Effect. I just started that. That one is about just how little, like that book that I think you were reading, or Rachel or something, but just the compound effect, just how little tiny changes compounded change your trajectory. So yeah, pretty much. I just barely started it.
I think I think it was Rachel, because I remember her saying something about that.
Yeah, so it's so far it's really good.
Oh, good.
Makes sense.
Nice.
Yeah.
How's yours? Are you still doing this 12 rules?
Yeah, I don't have time to read over 10 pages, and it takes me forever. And it's like that is the worst part of this. The working out is getting easier. The drinking water, it's whatever. I don't know. I don't even know about that, but the reading is like, it's not fun. I've never been like happy about reading.
Yeah.
I like listening to audiobooks, but not
So it
reading.
just pushes.
So I don't even know if I'm like, what am I on? I think I'm on like rule 4
Oh, really?
out of 12, something like that. Yeah. So, and then it's hard to read because he's like Canadian. So some of his slang doesn't really totally make sense. And some of the words he uses don't make sense to me. I have to think about them. And so, yeah, it's difficult.
He has like
but-
a lot of big words. Is there anything interesting in the book that sticks out to you that you've learned recently, or
Well,
think of?
I mean, like, I don't know. The interesting thing I don't know what rule I'm on. I can't remember. And that's the other issue, is that lately my life has been crazy. So, yeah, I don't know. But I think the rule I'm on, it's like, or the last one, it says I gotta think about it. I don't know. I don't remember what it is.
Sorry. I didn't even put you on the spot. Sorry.
Yeah.
I was just curious.
How's your book going?
Oh, it's good. I was telling Marquesa that it keeps lapsing, so I had to.
Yeah.
I'm going between 2 of David Goggins' books.
Oh,
So,
I see.
but they're pretty similar in the idea that like, basically he's just trying to be like the hardest man in the world, but he still has his problems, right? He still has like, the things that drive him. It's interesting is, he's a black guy, so, he talks about racism where he lived and like how that sort of contributed to where he's at, and like his relationship with his parents, and and just like the dynamics and the awful things that happened to him growing up and stuff. But I thought another interesting thing he talked about was, and we've talked about this before, how you sort of have to leave people behind,
Yeah.
as you grow, as you come into yourself, and the way you actually see yourself and the way you want to be. People don't like that. They don't like to see that like light in you, and they get really insecure about themselves, and they will drag you back down.
Yeah.
And not that I have that really, like we've talked about like family, and like I've had friends in the past that have been like that, and we don't really associate with people like that, I think, because of where we're at now. But I just think that it's really a testament to,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
Well, it's like a
you can see when people they're struggling with their own security, and you know, and they can't see other people doing that.
yeah. It's the crab pot theory.
Yeah.
Like crabs in a pot. If they will you don't have to like contain them, because one might be able to crawl out, but the other ones will pull it back down in. And so they all die. They all boil to death instead of like letting some get out.
Right.
And that's kind of how, you know, people are too.
Yeah.
And yeah, that was one of the rules that I was trying to explain. And that, I think what he said, I can't remember exactly what the rule is, but I think what it is it says to make friends with people who want the best for you.
Right.
And that's kind of the same thing.
Yes.
Because it's like you could hang out with people who are just in misery, and like I've done this, and I was one of those people too, who were just bringing everybody down around us. Like we were all just in this like cycle of abuse to each other,
Yeah.
you know, and like not wanting the best for each other, but instead we just all partied constantly, basically. But it wasn't good, you know.
Yeah. There was nowhere to go in that
Right.
life.
And
Yeah.
that's exactly what we were doing. And then I look at other people, you know, like there's this YouTuber I watch, and he films his friends, and he has a successful business, and all of his friends have similar successful businesses, you know, and so they're all in that like different level or different group of people where they're building each other up, they're helping each other out constantly, you know.
Yeah.
They're not just like talking constantly about that one time that I got wasted,
Yeah,
and like, oh
right.
yeah, there's this other time I was calling my dealer, and
It just like all repeats.
all these
It's just-
stories over and over again. Yeah, I remember that just
Yeah.
being how it was. Yeah, I mean, and it's crazy to see that, to look back on that and see all the like how far we've come, I think. But I guess I was just gonna say I'm grateful that I have that. And I was saying that earlier, you know, I think that goes with like having high maintenance friends and stuff. They don't want what's best for you, because
Yeah.
all they're thinking about is themselves.
Yeah.
That's why they're high maintenance. That's why they need to suck that life out of you. Whereas, you know, you guys all have your own lives. We all have our own things going on there. I don't ever feel any animosity or weirdness about like, oh no, I can't make it today, or, you know, I don't think anybody ever has any like biting remarks or anything.
Yeah.
As far as I can tell, everybody's really like cool
Yeah.
and lifting each other up, and you know, I don't know, I think it's great. I think
Yeah.
it's so good. And the fact that he's doing this with me too, like he's the person in my life that's challenged me the most. I don't think I've ever had anybody challenge me actually before I met him. And by challenge, I mean like really look at myself and like and have to realize like, oh, I don't know anything. I'm not the, you know, all that in a bag of chips like I thought, you know. I had to mature, I had to grow up, and
Yeah.
I'm really grateful for that. So yeah, I guess that's where I was going with that.
Yeah, I mean it's strange, you know. It's weird how people are, that you would think that we could somehow like push each other up instead of pull each other down, but
Yeah.
it's just the way it is, I guess.
Well, that book I was reading too, the You Are a Badass one, and I feel like I've read it in this last book too, but it always goes back to surround yourself with people you want to be like, or that encourage you, or that
Yeah.
lift you, or that, you know, that push you up instead of hold you down. And so yeah, it just goes.
And it's interesting that all of these books have that same message.
They have the same concept. Yeah.
You know, and this is a something that I've been realizing for a long time, is that you could read these books and they're all going to be similar. You know, any self-help, because basically these rules are universal rules.
Yeah.
They're not something that these people have invented. They're something that these people have figured out
Yeah.
and then
Right.
put on paper.
So yeah, people over time have just realized like this is the way the world works.
Right.
We don't know why.
It's like physics.
Yeah.
You know, and if you act specific ways, you're going to get specific results.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
It's like gravity
what you
is.
put out, you get back. Yeah, exactly. I think
Yep.
that's what pushed me towards Christianity, I think, was and
Right.
God was like realizing like, holy cow, all of this is like interconnected and it all makes sense. All these different people are saying the same things.
Right. And so,
Yeah,
and they work.
they do. They absolutely do. Yeah, it's wild.
Yeah.
Anyways, going deep on this one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anything else? I don't know what else. Yeah. I mean, any like notable days? I'm trying to think of. I might have to look back at my notes, but I mean, I think I had a few days where it was kind of rough, but
I think my biggest thing is just that this slump that I'm starting to come out of. I feel like today was better than yesterday. But yeah, trying to figure that out, and then I'm gonna need to prepare for it next month. So that'll be interesting.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I got a migraine one day, which I haven't had in 2 years, and I don't know why. I'm not quite sure what brought that on. I mean, for the most part, I felt really good every day. I felt like at least physically pretty good.
Yeah. Like that
Just
thing
tired.
put you out. Like she was
It
in
sure
bed for like 8 hours and she still got up. After we went to bed, she got up and worked out. I was like, I'm surprised.
had to,
I thought
yeah.
you were done. I'm like, she's not going to do it. She's going to be
job.
starting over.
Oh man, that was the worst.
Yeah.
I almost threw up at the end of that. I was like, I can't. But I did my 40. No, I think I only had 20 minutes left because
Yeah.
I started getting the headache in the middle of my second workout for the day. And I'd been drinking plenty of water. So I don't know what it was, but I was just like, uh-oh, this isn't good. And so, I tried to just like relax and it just started getting worse and worse and worse. I was like, oh no, this hasn't happened in 2 years, almost more than 2 years.
Well, that's awesome that you
Yeah.
pushed through. Good
I
job.
tried. And I did it before midnight. Yeah, I was like, as soon as I start feeling any better at all, I gotta go just knock the rest out. And I did.
Yeah.
So. Yeah, crazy. I wouldn't feel good about it if I hadn't done it. Especially after reading David Goggins. Like, the kind of things he describes and how, like, how terrible and how painful it must be to be in, like, the Navy SEALs. What in the hell? Those guys are crazy.
Yeah.
How wild. It's wild.
Yeah. I'm
What kind of
surprised
things?
you
Have you
didn't
read about that
know
or
that
anything?
stuff.
Jeez, those guys,
The SEALs are something else.
they're nutso.
It's insanity.
Yeah. His was like breathing or being in water, and like he really struggles because he's like a really heavy guy, so he sinks to the bottom really easily, he said. And he goes to the top to breathe, and then he has to go back down and like tie knots, and he has to do like 3 different knots, and they have to approve the knots. And then he goes up, and then the guys are screaming at him like, get the hell back down there. And they like barely let them breathe for even a second before they have to go back in. And he's like, it's just so painful, and it's so terrifying because you're just like disoriented, and and you have to focus, and you're down there for like how long tying these freaking knots. And if you get them wrong, you have to keep doing it until you get them right. Oh my God. And one guy actually died in that pool because he had some sort of, I think he got sick, and then they like released him, and then he came back and was doing these knots and things, and then he died right there in front of him.
Oh, wow.
And then the guys were like, basically the captain or whatever they are, I don't know, the sergeants and stuff, they were like, well, get back in there.
I don't know.
After they just watched this guy die.
don't
And they
know if
just were
it's
like, well,
A drill sergeant.
he loses.
Crazy.
Basically,
Yeah.
yeah, they're just like,
Jeez.
he lost. He lost the game. I'm just
Wow.
like, what? These guys are wild.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's nuts, the kind of stuff they do. So anyway, yeah, after that, I'm like, well, I have no excuse. A headache is not an excuse.
Yeah.
Sorry, I wouldn't get away with that. Anyways, on that note,
Yeah.
anything else for this
I
week?
don't have anything else.
I don't
What's
have
next week?
anything
We got
else.
our camping trip next week. Nice. What are we gonna do on those days? Are we gonna do stuff? We gonna go hiking?
we gotta
guess
get
we
our
have to
45.
Figure it out.
Our 2 workouts in. So yeah.
Yeah. Right.
Wednesday we are going on that hike to Donut Falls, so that will for sure be a workout. And then I'll probably do like I'm thinking about bringing my yoga mat
Yeah. I'll
And
have to
doing
do
like a
that.
morning yoga session or something. I don't know.
Yeah, I think I'll do that too.
Maybe we can have a session with whoever else.
Sweet. Yeah, let's do that.
But yeah,
Cool.
I'm excited about that.
Are you just gonna come up for the day or anything, or? What do you
Yeah.
think? Yeah.
I mean, maybe, I don't know.
I know
be
David was
cool.
going to, and then he's like, so we get there at 3 p.m. on Tuesday. We will get up, set up camp, probably get ready to make dinner, and then it's going to get dark. We're going to have fire and glow stick party or whatever.
Nice.
And then we have Wednesday, pretty much, and that's it. And
Oh, that's
then
true, I guess.
Thursday we have to
You have
wake
to
up and
pack
be
up.
out by noon.
Oh yeah.
So it seems quicker than I thought,
Yeah,
you know,
yeah,
after I
that
put it
makes
into
sense.
perspective. So anyway, David's probably not going to come up
Oh,
because
it's not.
no,
worth
because
it.
it's like a 30-40 minute drive and he can't go on a hike because his ankle and so there's no
bummer.
point really.
Bummer.
Yeah, I don't know if I'll be able to either because it's like, Tuesday I need to go to bed early
Yeah, that's true.
and then
Yeah,
I'll be
Wednesday's your
working
long
till
day.
4. So it's like, and Wednesday's my long day and then I have band. So I might not, but I might go with you to, help you set
Set
up and then come back here. That's it. That's probably all I'll do. I don't know.
You don't think I can do it? You don't think a bunch of homeschool moms can do it?
Oh, I mean, you could, and probably we need to set that tent up and sew the one thing,
Oh yeah.
and then you can set it up so you can see it. But I don't know.
No, that would be nice. If you helped me.
Yeah.
I don't want to have to do
I
it all, but I will if I have to.
Yeah, I mean,
That's the
We
plan.
can all work together too.
you guys can do it. It's a simple tent. There's only 3 poles, and then the fly. I don't know if it's gonna rain or not, or if that matters. And then you guys don't even have to take the tent if you don't want. You could all sleep
That's
in the
true.
truck.
It's just 3 of us, and yeah. we
Since
could
I'm
just
not
sleep in
there,
it.
they could sleep where I sleep,
Yeah.
But it's up to you. You
Kick
could
me in the
take the
face all
tent.
night.
Yeah, you could take the
Sweet.
tent to put the stuff in, and then all of you could sleep in the truck, and then you wouldn't have to worry about it raining or whatever.
Yeah, that's true.
If it rained on the stuff, it wouldn't matter.
Yeah, I'm excited.
But-
It'll be fun. We'll figure it out.
Anyway, so yeah, you guys are gonna get to work out in the outdoors. That'll be
Yeah.
nice. It'll be way better than
It'll be fun.
down in the city.
Yeah.
Just setting up camp will be a bit of a workout in itself,
Yeah,
I'm sure,
an
for a minute.
adventure. Yeah. Interesting.
Yeah.
Right on. Okay.
All right. Well, I guess that's
Well-
it.
We'll
Thanks for joining us.
Maybe do next week.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I think so.
Figure it out.
Yep.
Yep. So who knows what day? I mean, it's kind of going to be random, I guess, for this thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
But thanks for watching. Subscribe if you want to or whatever, and we're just going to keep going. And I'm glad that I didn't have to start over, even though I thought I did.
Yay!
Yay.
Congratulations. That's so great.
Okay. See you guys later.
Bye.